What's up, Rocket Rollers? My name is Rolling Around the Rocket Ryan, and as you could probably tell by the thumbnail and the title of this video already, yes, this will be my video of my most anticipated movies of this year of 2023. And yes, before you say anything else in the comments, I know that this is very late, and we are now already reaching the end of January even, and but I was editing a whole bunch of videos that were in development even before this. I just want to get them out of the way, before this one, so that's why. And so please bear with me. But I hope you guys still enjoyed the video nonetheless. Now, usually a lot of people like to rank their most excited movies of each year in like a top 10 list. But since I honestly would have so much trouble just dialing down to just 10 of these, I thought it would be at least a bit easier, make things a bit easier if I just rank them in accordance to each month. So if I just go over what I'm most hyped up for, amped up for each month. It took me quite a while, but I think we got it. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so starting out with January. So originally I didn't really find anything that really interested me or caught my attention, but one of my best friends actually told me about this, and since then I've watched the trailers and it got me more intrigued and interested in the movie, so much so that that friend and I ended up watching it. And that movie is Megan. So just to get it right out there, I'm not the biggest fan of horror, because I'm a big gigantic wuss when it comes to the extreme horror, but ever since watching the trailers, I've really dug the tone. The tone that it was showing really interested me, and so I decided to give this one a shot, and I actually had a lot of fun with this one. I'm glad I watched this one, and I'm certainly glad I'm able to add this to January, because especially with a scene like this, which I already know has become a TikTok trend. You can't go wrong with a horror movie that has a little comedy in it. Alright, so moving on to February. So there are two movies now that I'm most excited for this month, and they are Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Cocaine Bear. Now, for in this list where I go through all the months, if there's months that have more than one film in it, the way I'm going to do it is that I'm going to basically dial down into one of these that I'm most excited for each month. So if there's like 2 or 3 or even 4 that I end up being looking forward to for each month, then basically what I'll do is like choose one that I'm most excited for, that I had to choose, decide and choose that I'll be most excited for amongst the rest. So anyways, so for February, even though I'm a really big Marvel fan, I gotta say that surprisingly, Cocaine Bear actually takes the spot for February as my most anticipated for this month. Because honestly, this is one of those films that it really does look like the filmmakers definitely had a lot of fun with this one, especially with the premise that it's based on a true story, and it just really feels like a movie that my friends and I can just go to for a fun time. It really literally is sort of just asking you to get drunk for this one. So yeah, can't wait to see how this one will go. Oh man, we're gonna have such a fun time with this one. Alright, moving on to March, during the spring season, start of the spring season, well, at least that's what I consider it, like, December, January to February is like winter, and March starts spring for me. I guess that's how I assume things. But anyways, we have Creed 3, Scream 6, and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And even though I really like the past 2 Creed films, and even though I've watched the first Scream movie, but not the rest though, and I really enjoyed that, I actually watched the first Scream movie in one of my film courses in university. But despite all those things, I'm actually more excited for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, because I really liked the first Shazam, especially with how we got a lighter DC film for a change. That's specifically targeted for the younger audience, and due to the nature of its tone and its plot being surrounded by lead characters or lead heroes who are apparently supposedly kids. Well, not all of them, to be honest. But yeah, this is what makes the series of Shazam so distinguishable and special. comparing to the other darker DC films that and series films that we're more used to. So I'm just excitedly curious as to what they will do for this one, especially with the dynamic between the kids now that they're all literally reaching adolescent years. Yeah, the kids are not getting that much younger. Yeah, by the time this movie is released, they'll probably be like a bit like reaching late teen years. So, and the point like Shazam is like all about how these kids transform into these big adults. So if they were to do a third one, which I don't think they will anyways, because of the whole shifting of the DC studios, like how would that work? Like that the whole concept is gone. So like how would they do that? But nonetheless, I'm excited for this film to see what they'll do with these characters, and I can't wait to see more Shazam. Moving on to April now, there's only one film that I know of that's coming out in April, and it's one that, it's kind of questionable. Some people are excited for it, some people are not. And that movie is the Super Mario Brothers movie, coming out April 7th, 2023. And yes, before anybody says anything in the comments, before you hate me on this, I just want to say that, look, it could have been worse. It could have been way worse than this. This is, like, as a huge Super Mario fan, ever since I was a kid, from what we've seen so far, it actually looks pretty decent. Even though, I agree with everyone when they say, Chris Pratt's voice as Mario still is kind of questionable and still kind of bothers me as well. And the fact that they're not really doing the Italian accent, which, is, like, I guess, debatable. It can be debatable between, like, fans, because, yeah, from what I know is that he's based from Brooklyn as well. Well, he's kind of like Italian-Americans, and he doesn't have the Italian accent still, so, like, I don't know. It's all questionable, and people are still bothered by Chris Pratt's voice as Mario, but honestly, everyone else's voices seem pretty cool. Especially Jack Black as Bowser. He's going all in for it, apparently, like, it seems. And, yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, I knew she's gonna fit Princess Peach. And Charlie Day as Luigi, it fits. And Toad's voice by Keegan-Michael Key is a new touch. And Seth Rogen as DK, which we got a recent tease for. Yeah, it actually doesn't sound that bad. And I really like all the Easter eggs and references that they show in the trailers. So I don't really have much doubt that this movie will do the franchise at least some form of justice. Because, especially with Shigeru Miyamoto being one of the executive producers behind the film. So, yeah, he has an eye on things. So, and I doubt that he would want, the studio of Illumination to trash on Super Mario, so, yeah, there's that. Alright, so moving on to the summer months of this year, starting with May, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast X, and the Disney live-action remake of the original cartoon in 1989, The Little Mermaid. And I think for May, there's really no question for me to it. The one I'm most excited for definitely has to go to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Look, it's James Gunn's swan song in the MCU. It's going to be his last film that he'll be making within this franchise. And so they're all going out with a bang. And I know it's set to be an emotional one. And, because I'm not ready to say goodbye to these characters, man. Especially after the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and how it just reaffirmed why we love these characters. And it's going to be difficult to say goodbye to some of them, whoever survives in this third film. So I have good faith that this film will be really, really good compared to some of the other films that they've shown in recently. Because, comparing to, all the things that they've put out so far, this gives me hope that this will be an MCU film to remember by. I'm just all excited for quite literally everything, from Adam Warlock to the continued dynamic between Star-Lord and Mantis, now that we know that they're have siblings now. Spoilers if you haven't seen the holiday special. And yeah, how the Gamora fits in with the Ravagers now that she's confirmed to basically be hiding with them. And how Rocket and Drax is going to be in the story. Like, a lot of people are predicting that Drax and Rocket will apparently die in this movie, but I don't know. Because, like, apparently if you compare all the colors of the titles of all the Guardians of the Galaxy films, they're colored to whoever dies in the film. And this one's colored to, like, a specific gray. So that's gotten a lot of people and fans really suspicious of who's going to go out in this movie. Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. Really excited for this one, and this is definitely going to be an emotional one. Nope. Next. Okay, I'm kidding. We do have something for this month. So yes, we have two big films for the month of June. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. And I think for this one for June, it's I think this is the first month that I started to have some kind of difficulty deciding between them because I'm excited for both, but I think the one I'm leaning more towards is definitely Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse because the first film, my God, was revolutionary spectacular. It's one of the best superhero films I've ever seen, and one of the best animated films I've ever seen. Because it's a story and movie that where the animation has to complement the film, and without that animation, it would have been a completely different film, and it probably would have been worse than what we've gotten. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the different lengths of how the animation's gonna improve from the last one, if any. And speaking of animation, there will actually be different animation styles for each of the different universes they'll be going through in the Spider-Verse. It's confirmed by the movie itself. So we'll see different animation styles for like Spider-Punk, the Insomniac PS4/PS5 Spider-Man from that game. Even Mayday Parker, who is in the comics, she's the daughter of Mary Jane and Peter Parker in either the canon Prime universe or in some other universe. So yeah, there might be some new animation for her too. Jessica Drew as well, and there was one other one that oh yeah, I think the one that apparently most people are excited for, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Yes, he's confirmed to be coming back, and as well as the Japanese Spider-Man as well. So expect different animation styles for all of them. So that's what they're teasing at anyway. So already, a very unique concept for I cannot wait to see and see executed when I go see it. I don't think it's something that's been, attempted in this scale for animation, so yes, anticipating really hard for this one. Moving on to July, so this is the month that probably had the most difficulty with choosing which movie I'm excited for, because we have three: Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Marvels. And the most difficult part was choosing basically between Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible, because Oppenheimer is a really big cast, but Mission Impossible, however, after Top Gun, I cannot wait to see the stunts involved in this one, especially seeing on the big screen what is apparently Tom Cruise's most dangerous stunt he ever performed. I saw a video of it, and it looks insane. So, but I just want to note that I have not seen the last three Mission Impossible films. I've only watched the first three so far. But, it's in July. I got all the time to see in the world to watch those before then. But it will be part one as well of Tom Cruise's final time in the Mission Impossible franchise, and it will be essentially his swan song with the franchise. So there's no question that I think we will definitely all be there to witness the culmination to such a big name franchise. And of course, I'm going to miss the character Ethan Hunt. I'm sure he holds, sure a lot of people hold this character to their hearts, so he definitely will be missed as a character. And I wouldn't be surprised if this movie has the most insane and most hardcore stunts and actions amongst all the other Mission Impossible films. Alright, so moving on to August, the final month of the summer, and we got Blue Beetle, which my boy, Xolo Maridueña, yeah, I'm really excited that he's finally getting his big screen debut with this movie. Like, out of all things he could have debuted on in the big screen in the cinema movie theater for, it's this one. Like, there's not a lot of people who could say that, so he's got that chance. Yeah, I love the dude in Cobra Kai. He's one of the best things I love about the show. So I'm really excited to see him lead the character as Jaime Reyes, aka Blue Beetle. And honestly, this is my most excited DC project this year. Because I've become such a big fan of the character, since he appeared in those DC Animated Universe Teen Titans animated movies, and from the Injustice 2 game as well. And the fact that this is the first, quote-unquote, Teen Titans / Young Justice member to ever get a live-action film. And on top of that, the first to have a Hispanic as a lead character. So I'm really happy for Xolo for this one, and I cannot wait to see him on the big screen. Okay, so for the months of September and October, the following 2 months, the fall, yeah, I don't blame me if my excitement level has gone down lower, but this just really not really anything I'm really excited or anticipating for the months of September and October, because honestly, there's not really anything looking forward to. I just sort of picked these two films to kind of as a filler up for these 2 months, so I don't have to skip over them. But we're starting with September. We have The Expendables 4. Yeah, I just sort of added it in just to fill up September. Yeah, it's not really a fan of the Expendables franchise, to be honest, even though it has all these big actors and other than the massive action, which I honestly that's all I know about this film franchise. So other than those two things, there's not really much I'm excited for. Like, I don't think it's one of those films that you are in for the story even anyway. So but I just want for me personally, at least the story has to be intriguing. And for I've only watched one though, so yeah. Call me unfair if you want, but I've only watched one, and immediately I just was the only things that really got my attention were the action and the movie stars that were in it. Other than that, I wasn't really intrigued with the story or anything, and so yeah, I'm not really entirely excited for this one. And moving on to October, which we have, I think, my least anticipated movie for this ranking list. And that's Craven the Hunter. We don't have a title for that either. A poster. Sorry. Yeah, we don't have a poster for that. I'm so sorry. Just feeling a little nervous. But yeah, just also added this up to fill up October. After Morbius, my faith in the Sony universe of Spider-Man characters has gone an all-time low. And the fact that it's adapting Craven's best comic book story, or the comic book storyline that he's most well known for, called Craven's Last Hunt, which involves Spider-Man, by the way, and to do it without Spider-Man, it's just, what are you gonna do with that? It's just utterly ridiculous. Like, what can you do with that? And and the fact that he's a hunter, he's literally an animal hunter in the comics. Like, how are you supposed to feel for this character? He's an animal hunter. Like, how are we supposed to feel for him? Like, either they're gonna change his entire character completely, or they're gonna kind of readjust things here and there to make him more sympathetical or for the audience. Which either way, he won't be the same Craven that we expect him to be, or we know him from comics. So yeah, it's gonna be a completely different film, and I wouldn't be surprised if it disappoints fans. Alright, rounding up the year with the last 2 months, starting with November, we have Dune Part 2, coming out November 3rd, 2023. So I liked the first film for what it was, but the topics that it tackled, which I appreciated very much. But hate me all you want, but I just thought the first part was very, very slow. And I know some of my friends of mine who I went to see with will say that it was because I arrived late for the movie, 20 minutes late, so they might blame me for that. But overall, even then, even if it was because of that, even if it weren't, I still thought the film was really slow. That's my personal opinion. Hate me all you want, but hopefully the next one is more fast paced, and they pick up the pace for this one, because after all, this is a really epic franchise with huge potential. I mean, it kind of is already. The scale of it was already really big in the first one, so I'm really looking forward to how they will amp up the ante for this one. It's no Star Wars or anything, but it's certainly something that feels, well, not entirely similar, but gives off the same kind of visual effect vibe. But yeah, for this one, let's just see what they do with it. And finally, for the month of December, we have I have three films again. The Color Purple, which is based on the Broadway musical, and the Untitled Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, which we don't have a poster for. I don't have a poster for either of them. And Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, which is the only one I have a poster for. So I think when thinking about December, there's only one film that comes to mind, and I haven't really seen the musical of Color Purple, so I really don't know what it's how it is and how that compared to the film. So I can't really. Sometimes I don't really judge films based on the movie alone when there's something based on them. So yeah, and for Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, it already has its line of controversies. which I won't really explain in this video because you guys probably already know what it is. But so there really is only one option, and that is the Untitled Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, which I'm probably pointing to nothing. But yes, I really like the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. It's just a film of pure fun entertainment, and its nostalgia value actually serves some purpose in the story of that film, which I honestly want to see more films with nostalgia value do, which Spider-Man No Way Home did really well, for instance. And so I'm really curious as to what they'll do for the sequel, like where they can go for him, whether the big boss from the climax of the last film will return, or if Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson return as well, or Andy Potts as well, or Sigourney Weaver even. But I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel that if they do return for this one, I feel like it won't be as grand or have a bigger impact that it was that it did when it came out, the Afterlife came out. As it was only 2 years ever since the last time we saw them, and when they appeared in Afterlife, it was about 30 years since we last saw them all. So it had a bigger impact and effect on the audience. And yeah, if they do come back, I'm not sure have that same level of effect. But I'm still curious as to see what they'll do for the sequel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to the Ghostbusters franchise soon. I love Afterlife, and I like the first one. But the second one I actually haven't watched. But again, same with the Mission Impossible franchise. I have all the time in the world until December to actually see the second one. And finally, before I wrap up this video, I do want to actually bring up a few honorable mentions that I'm also looking forward to, and anticipating for this year. That are mainly on the TV side of things, because this is mainly focused on movies. I also want to bring attention to some of the TV shows that will be coming this year, and those include Season 3 of Mandalorian, The Witcher, Season 3 for The Witcher, Season 2 of Loki, the revival of the X-Men 1997 franchise television series, John Wick Chapter 4, which is coming out in March as well, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, which is the beach. I said beach. The Beast, which is coming out in June this year. The Last of Us, which is out now, but it's on HBO Max. But I don't think we have it here in Hong Kong. So yeah, not sure what I can do about that but I still hope to see it this year, at least, if I can. And we have Ahsoka as well, American Born Chinese, and apparently Futurama's coming back as well. I actually didn't know until I looked this up before recording this video. So there's that. It's coming back after years. And finally, the final episodes of the character of Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon anime, called Pokemon Aim to be a Pokemon Master. It's coming out now. It's out now. The first 3 episodes have come out already, and I'm currently catching up on that. And yeah, the last episodes and Ash Ketchum and his Pikachu, we won't see him as main characters again. That's it. So yeah, those are some of the things that I want to bring up as honorable mentions in this video. And also, I want to bring up some of the dishonorable mentions that yeah, also want to bring up before we end this video off. And those go to Barbie, Kraven the Hunter, and Expendables as well. Riverdale Season 7, which all 3 of them have no posters for. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which, yeah, I don't want to see someone that ruins my childhood, essentially. And The Flash. Yes, I know, before you say anything, yeah, even though his, Michael Keaton's Batman coming back from the Tim Burton films, yeah, this is just something that, I have no plans to watching, because, all the controversy surrounding this film is just too much. Yeah, it doesn't look this doesn't look good for the film, and I honestly don't want to support a film that yeah, because of all the controversy behind it. It had a lot of behind the scenes production problems as well. So this film just sounds like a total mess, and I do not want to honestly don't want to go to a film that sounds like a big mess. So yeah, no plans to watch this film. Maybe I might change my mind, but yeah, at the end of the day, even if I do go see it, I wouldn't be seeing it for this person who shall not be named, because he was actually but who knows? Maybe I might go change my mind and maybe go see it. But at the end of the day, even if I do, it wouldn't be for this person. Because yeah, all the controversy behind this movie, because of them, You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I don't want to delve too much on about it because you guys probably know what it is. But yeah, yeah, and we'll just have to see how it goes with this one. But I have a feeling that it's not gonna look that well. 3, 2, 1. So there you have it, folks. There's my list of my most anticipated movies for each month of this year. Me personally, I'm pretty hyped up for this year. 2023 looks like it's going to be not only another year packed with various movies this year, but it certainly looks like it's also going to be a very interesting movie, interesting one too, interesting year for movies too, if you know what I mean. We'll just have to see how it goes. But my question for you guys is, what are you guys most excited for this year? Or what are you guys not excited for this year? And what do you think of my list? Feel free to let me know in the comments below, and we can start some fun but respectful conversations. And please guys, as this is my first proper movie-related video that I'll be posting on the channel, I would also like to use this opportunity to remind everyone, please keep conversations in a respectful and mature manner, so we can talk about movies without so much toxicity, because any toxicity at any level will not be tolerated on this channel. Just putting it out there. I know I'm reading this off the screen right down there, but I do really want to be sincere about this, so I hope you guys do understand, and I really do appreciate it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching and listening. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And thanks again, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Rhinos, roll out, and good night.